What's up, everybody? How's it going? So I'm sitting here at the Flying J in Walton, Kentucky. We're kind of on our way home, kind of not. We're just kind of taking our time. There's some freight in between here and home that we're taking a shot at to see if they can see if we get the money right, and if we can, we're going to go after it. But we're still waiting to hear on some of those. So I was going through my emails and some of the comments and stuff, and I see another question of something that I get asked all the time, and I figured it's really an answer that deserves and warrants more than just a quick response on the comments or email. So I'm going to do a little video about it. Now, this doesn't apply to just the person that sent me the email. This applies to everybody, okay? And this is my take on it, okay? This is my personal opinion. Certain companies you go to may tell you otherwise. There may be a very structured environment that you end up in. I was lucky. I ended up, we chose Landstar. Landstar is a very good company. They're all about progression. All right. So the question is, in a nutshell, how do you get into heavy haul? Let me preface this by saying heavy haul gets thrown around a lot, and I think there's a lot of it can very easily be misconstrued as to what one person's idea of heavy haul is versus what somebody else's idea is. My personal opinion on the matter is I don't give a shit if you want to call yourself a heavy haul driver because you put 45,000 pounds of rolled paper in the box. Oh, GTR. Nice. New Nissan GTR just rolled by on a car hauler. Yeah, if you want to call yourself a heavy haul driver because you put 45,000 pounds of paper in the box of your trailer, go for it. I don't give a crap. You're not going to affect me, and you're not going to hurt my feelings. But there are people out there that get a little bit sensitive about using the term heavy haul if you're not hooked up to 75 freaking axles. So every person's interpretation of what heavy haul is going to vary a little bit. And like I said, I'm not even going to get into what I would consider heavy haul. Obviously what I consider us doing is heavy haul / specialized. So there's a lot of stuff we do that's not heavy and really wouldn't fall under the, general parameters for a heavy haul driver. So how do you get into it? So the biggest piece of advice that I can give anybody that's looking to get into heavy haul is, though this is a little bit counterintuitive because you're going to find this on the internet, but get off the internet. You can search around for answers on the internet all day long, and all you're going to find are 2,000 different opinions or ways that people go about things. If you are a newer driver or new to trying to get into the specialized heavy haul world, what somebody else did might not work for you. My pathway that I took to get where I am and where I hope to go may not work for somebody else. You may not have the equipment that I have. You may not have the people that I get the pleasure and the opportunity to work with. You may not have that, and you may not have that support structure. You may be on your own to get into this. So what I did might not work for you. That being said, the biggest thing that I can tell you is don't let somebody tell you there's a specific pathway you have to take. I am assuming, and I'm just going to put this out there, if you're not on a flatbed and you don't have platform experience, you're probably not going to jump just right into heavy haul. So I'm making this statement based on the assumption that you are already pulling a flatbed or a step deck or something, pulling general platform freight. Don't let somebody tell you that you have to go from a flatbed to a step deck, and then from a step deck to an RGN, and then from an RGN you can get a booster, and then you can get a Jeep, and then you can start doing this and doing that. No. if find out what it is you want to do. Find the market you want to go to. Like, do you want to pull tall? Do you want to pull heavy? Do you just want to pull wide? Do you want to pull long? There's equipment out there to pull all of that. And the most important thing you're going to have to remember is that you will never be able to get every piece of freight that's out there. There's not one piece of equipment out here that is set up to haul everything. And that's why you see all these companies that have just, a plethora of equipment. Because you have to, if you want to be able to tap into every single market, you have to have just this massive stockpile of equipment. So getting started, get your head out of the fact that you're going to haul everything, because you're not. So don't let somebody tell you that there's a specific pathway you have to take. Now, like I said in the beginning, you may work for a company like, let's say, ATS, just as an example. Now, I've never worked for ATS. I talked to a couple drivers that work for ATS, but I don't even really have a good understanding of how they work. But there is a tier system where you come on, you'll have to pull certain freight for them before they will allow you to pull this and then like that. Now, there are companies out there, and a lot of them are going to make that be. But if you are an owner-operator and you are looking to get into heavy haul or specialized, there is no pathway. All right. There are two things that I can tell you that are going to get into your way. The first is going to be your equipment. If you don't have the equipment to pull heavy or to pull long or to pull tall, that will kind of hinder you, especially if that's where you want to be. And the second thing is going to be yourself, saying that you shouldn't be going for this because you don't really, you haven't done the hypothetical step before that. When you're out there searching for your freight and you're going after these different loads, strive to find the stuff that's the big stuff. If you want that experience and you want that progression, you have to constantly be on your game and pushing yourself a little bit further and a little bit further and a little bit further. It is okay as a driver to push yourself a little bit out of your comfort zone. I have done it. There was a time where I didn't have much experience at all, and I still am considered as green as I can be. I still come out here and I try and learn every single day, so do not think that I have all the answers. But there was a time when I was just getting started off that I was asked to move some stuff that was way outside of the realm of what I probably would have searched for, but I didn't hesitate. I went, I got the offer and I went for it, because that's how you progress, is you push yourself just a little bit further outside of your comfort zone, not far enough to where you're going to make, not far enough to where you can't function, but far enough to where you progress. That's really, I feel like people want this answer that says like A, B, C, and D. These are the things you have to do in the order you have to do them, and here's where you'll be when you finish those. There's guys out here that have pulled 3-axle RGNs for 20 years and have never wanted to go bigger. And then there's guys out here like me that's like every day I'm looking for the next thing that can take me a little bit further. And maybe that's because I'm young. Maybe it's because I haven't been around the industry too long. And as drivers will often say to you, you'll get burnt out of that, No, I don't think I will. I love what I do. I love doing this big stuff, and I want more. And you have to have that attitude. Like, if you really want to succeed in being a heavy hauler, specialized, or that could go for anything. If you really want to succeed as a van driver, you have to want the challenging stuff. You've got to keep pushing yourself to get further. So my basic advice to the person that's watching this that is pulling a flatbed or a step deck for a company is, don't take no for an answer. If you work for a company that has brokered freight, or a company like Landstar where you're in charge of finding freight, but a company is generally overseeing everything you do, make those phone calls, ask the questions, ask for the permission, and within respects, don't take no for an answer. Sell yourself on being the competent operator that you know yourself to be. And if you can sell somebody on yourself and on your skills and on your competence to do something, they just might let you go a step further than maybe they should have. And when you succeed, you'll have proven to them that they are working you below your aptitude level, I suppose would be the word. So yeah, my advice, that's really all I can tell you is don't take no for an answer. Don't be afraid to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and find out where it is that you want to be. Because if you want to be pulling stretch freight and you spend the next 2 years pulling 10 to 12 to 15 feet wide, but never anything long, just because it's what your company has done or told you have to do, you've just wasted all that time not getting to where you want to be. So find out where you want to go and chase the freight that's going to get you there, and don't be afraid to ask for help along the way. I've made it very clear through my correspondence with everybody in my channel that I'm always open for questions. Maybe it's going to take me a week to get back to you, but I will get back to you, and I'll answer your questions to the best of my ability, because I want to try and help people. I was given a almost indescribable amount of help getting to where I am, and every day I have that available to me, and I want to be able to help those who are trying to progress with what little knowledge that I do have. So I hope that well, it's turned out to be almost a 14-minute video. I hope that's somewhat answered your questions, and I hope that's kind of opened your eyes to the fact that there's not some clear-cut answer to this industry. And if really, that's about all I can say about it. Like I said, if you have any questions, throw them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them and to help you out with what I can. But just keep on going, man. Just keep on going. You'll be all right.